So JB, thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Brittany, thank you so much for having me. I'm having a great day so far. So yeah,
That's great to hear, and I hope it continues to be great. So
thank you.
yeah, of course. Let's take it back to to the beginning. What inspired you to audition for The Voice?
I have watched the show for many, many years, from when it first began. And back in season one, I just remember falling in love with the concept of the show, basing it around the artist's voice, and that being the focal point of why someone would turn their chair for them and have them on their team. And so I'd always kind of dreamed about being a participant and being a contestant. Never in a million years imagined that this would occur, but had always had that in my heart. So it's been a dream come true being a part of The Voice.
I think that was always just an interesting concept when it first came to light, the whole,
Right.
mysteriousness and then really seeing who it is. And it's like, oh my God, that's you. You match the face to the voice. So
Love it.
congratulations on making the blind auditions.
Thank
Um,
you.
let's talk a little bit about that. Just take me back to, you're getting ready to go out there. What's going through your head?
Don't throw up. Have a good time. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, so many emotions are running through my head. Adrenaline is pumping full force, and I think the main thought that I had was I want to make my family and my sister and my home state proud. So yeah.
And so as you're up there, you're giving us an exceptional cover of Joni Mitchell's A Case of You. Tell me
Yes.
in that moment, you're seeing some of the chairs turn and you're singing and you got the lights and the cameras. What's going through your body?
Well, my eyes were closed for a lot of it because I was so nervous. So I remember when I did open my eyes and I saw that Kelly had turned her chair for me, just relief came over me, excitement, and then soon after, Chance the Rapper turned for me, and I was overwhelmed and so humbled by their willingness to want me on their team in the first place to turn their chairs for me was it was crazy.
I can only imagine. And in a way, did you kind of feel like this out of body experience? Like, oh my God, like I'm doing this. I can't believe I'm here.
Yes, many of my cast members and I reminisce on the moment where we just felt like we probably just blacked out, and couldn't remember really anything occurring until we finished our song. And I feel pretty similar to that. It was such, like I said, an adrenaline pumping moment that I was just on autopilot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like just as you mentioned, Kelly Clarkson and Chance the Rapper, they both turned their chairs for you. So tell me, one, was it hard to decide between the two? Because you're standing there, you got to make a split
Yes.
decision.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was one of the hardest decisions I've made so far in my life. And it seems so funny, I to have the option is wild to me. I was just thankful that anyone turned their chair for me. That was really it was a humbling experience for real. But to have both of these people that are superstars in their field fighting over me, and I couldn't. It was so hard to make the decision. I had my first choice, Kelly turn, and then I had my very close second choice, Chance turn, and Chance gave Kelly a run for her money in terms of the things that he was offering to coach me on. And I mean, I think I went with a gut feeling, and I'm thankful that I'm on Team Kelly.
Before joining The Voice, Kelly Clarkson is a megastar, right?
Yes.
What was it specifically about maybe her career, her knowledge that made you want to go with her?
Well, one, I mean, she is the original singing competition winner. So she is the person that has the most knowledge of how this whole thing works. And I know that she's navigated to such an immense career in music. I wanted to glean some information from her, and I wanted to, for lack of a better term, sit at her feet and soak up that wisdom.
Moving forward into the next few rounds, do you have maybe any strategies, any surprises in mind that we could expect?
I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to do me. I'm going to be as authentically JB as I can, with my delivery and in my artistry and how I go about the choices singing wise that I make. And yeah, I'm going to give it my all.
Authenticity is key. So you know what? You're on a great
That's
track.
right.
And tell me a little bit, if any, what has the response been like from viewers?
Insane. I was with my friends watching the episode on Monday night, and I remember at one point I had my watch on, and I was just getting buzzes after buzzes. And I looked down at one point and I had over 300 text messages only. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to start to respond to this. It's been amazing to see people from my life, various points in my life, reach out and just say how proud they are of me, and total strangers reaching out, sharing um, how my sister's story touched them, or how my performance was impactful in some way. It's been immensely overwhelming in so many different ways, but in the best way as well.
Awesome. And also, what has the response from your family been like?
It's been really good. I actually chatted with my brother this morning, and because I hadn't heard from him, I was like, "Hey, did you
Did you
did
see
you
me?
did you get a chance to check me out?" And he said, "Oh, we watched. We're so sorry. We were. It was so late. We didn't want to bug you." He was very proud. My dad texted me the morning after and was just he said my heart was very moved by the whole experience. So thank you, son, for making us proud. And my mom was as well proud as well. So it's been awesome
Oh,
to
that's
have their
so,
support. Yeah.
yeah, of course. That is so sweet. And, we're still a little bit early on in the season, but so far, is there anything new that you've learned about yourself throughout this process?
Really good question. Is there anything new that I've learned about myself? I don't know. Uh, that's a really hard question. I don't even know what to say. I think I've learned that I do surprise myself a little bit. I know that I am a talented person, and I've worked really hard to cultivate this gift that I've been given. But I think just watching the episode back, I felt like I surprised myself a little bit, just because, again, like I said, I blacked out and I don't really remember what happened during the song. So some of the choices that I made, I was really pleased with my performance, and I'm thankful to have that memento of the show. Yeah.
That's awesome. I know that's like a piece of your life that you're always going to be able to look
Yeah.
back on. It's in the public, but like that's
Yeah.
something you're always going to have. And I think that's really cool.
Yes.
And lastly, I just want to ask, what advice do you have for somebody who's a little hesitant to audition for The Voice?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I would just say jump in and just
Mhm.
go for it. The worst, one of my friends from way back in the day said this, and I've always lived by this kind of mantra. But the worst that someone can do is say no when you're jumping in and asking for something, or if you're moving forward with some sort of competition or whatever it is in your life. The worst things people can do is say no in those situations. Yeah. So go
100.
for it.
Yep, go for it. You hear that? Go for it. That was
Yeah.
great. JB, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to speak with me and to speak with us at Glitter. I wish you all the best in this competition, and we will be watching.
Brittany, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a
Thank you.
great day.
Thanks, you too.